haven't heard about Bloke-Core, you've probably been living under a rock. Essentially all it is Green Street Hooligans energy. It's old soccer jerseys from World Cup games to old EPL clubs really. And you've got to be wearing predominantly Levi's, just straight leg jeans, 501s. And what I hate the most, Jack, the Sambas. I'm done. There's just...
Why do you hate Sambas, Jess?
It's the NBC fit of the year. Like, it just... Don't get me wrong, like, with anything that's mainstream, there is something cool about it. Like, you know, it's just been done to death. And I just don't think it gives you any, like, identity. If you're wearing Sambas, you just blur into the masses. You know, that's how I feel when I had a pair that I've been sitting in my cupboard for, like, a solid 18 months. It's kind of my pride and joy that I haven't put them on. But anyway, let's dive in. You've got this diffusion of innovation theory for us, Jack.
Yeah. So Jess just broke down the fit for us. I'm sure if you haven't heard of Bloke-Core, you would have seen it. It's been doing the rounds on TikTok, social media. The last couple of years, I think it was started in 2021. So it's been around for a while now, but we're really starting to see it pick up. Lots of brands doing collaborations with football clubs and brands that don't have their roots in football and in this type of style are just coming out with a soccer jersey just to jump on the back of it and try to cash out. So
that's an important point to make because like, that's why we think it's dead, because soccer jerseys are like, I wore them as a kid all the time, even probably maybe when I was like 15. Like soccer jerseys are dope and like the sport, it's the world game. There's nothing wrong with, in fact, that is awesome. The problem with it is these brands, as you just said, that have no roots in soccer or like care for it at all. And then they just come out with a soccer jersey. It's just pure NPC energy.
Yeah, it's a big pet peeve of ours, as you would have seen. And so we're going to dive into this idea called the diffusion of innovation. It's big in the tech space, and essentially it explains the timeline of something coming into trend, maybe the peak of it and then the decline. So we'll try to put this simply for you guys. So it begins with the innovators. So there's, I think it was 2.5% of the population are known as innovators, and they essentially come up with an idea or form an idea. And they're probably the people you see in public that are wearing the craziest outfits that you can't even comprehend or wrap your head around. But then all of a sudden in 10 years, everyone's wearing them. Think about, the top designers. Those are the types of people that I suppose are known as the innovators in our world. We then move to early adopters. So maybe the cool people, those kids at school that are on the trends, quicker than anyone else and always have the coolest sneakers, blah, blah, blah. Maybe they'd be early adopters. You then have your early majority. So, early majority is just, I guess, the next wave of...
How big's that wave?
That was a pretty big wave. I think that was around 30%.
Okay.
Yeah.
And early adopters is about 15%, still pretty small.
Correct. Yep. Yeah, so now you're starting to get into the masses, I suppose. Who knows, Jesse? We're probably in the early majority most of the time.
Yeah, let's be real. Everyone wants to be the early adopter.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Everyone thinks they are an early adopter or an innovator, but really you're not. And so we're not either. Sometimes, maybe. Early majority, you then have the late majority, kind of the back half of that, another 30%. And then this is the part I love the most. You have the laggards or the laggers, I guess you could also say.
Yeah. Yeah, the ones that are just right at the end of the trend. And this is where we see Bloke-Core. Like, I think it's run its race. It's been nearly 2 years. Don't get me wrong, it had a big push through the Women's World Cup, sort of deservedly. I think it was an incredible time here in Australia. It was a real buzz around the place.
Yeah, definitely.
Certainly picked, I'd say, the trend maybe back up. But that doesn't mean that it hasn't been on a long death for a long time. Yeah, I just think it's pure NPC territory. If you're wearing Sambas, a soccer jersey, some Levi's, like it's time to just put all those three things away. Maybe keep the jeans on, maybe wear the soccer jersey to like the gym or something, but don't put those three things together.
Yeah, for me, Jess, it's just ruined a traditional casual outfit that's been associated with soccer and mostly, English football fans going to the game in their jerseys, being proud and wearing their jerseys with pride. And, jeans and Sambas have been a big part of that, the decades previously. So now it's become a thing because of TikTok and 21-year-olds on TikTok showing their fits, which is cool. It's good for business and people are cashing out. But I think that culture and that heritage, it's probably maybe ruined it a little bit for me.
yeah, it's good. Like, you know, definitely express yourself through your fits. That's what this whole podcast is about. This whole business is about. But I think look a bit deeper. You know, like if you're going to copy the next person, you know, you're just going to be an NPC, a non-player
Character.
There you go, guys.
You forgot what it was.
That's why you're here.
Saying that though, Jess, we do have a little funny ending to this one. We did an episode a couple of weeks back about the top 5 products we think will go the biggest in 2024.
This is true.
And we said the soccer jerseys are one of them. And just to caveat that, we think they're going to be one of the biggest sellers because they have hit the masses now. And yes, they might be on the way out, but there's a lot of saturation coming still with soccer jerseys, I believe.
Yeah.
Beware.
If you're going to sell soccer jerseys, be careful.
Yeah. If it's in your DNA, like we've spoken to soccer jersey brands that have been built on it, 4 or 5 years, real history, heritage. Do your thing, keep going for it. Like, you guys are the ones that are going to win. It's the brand that isn't, built in that shifts over and tries to do a soccer jersey that's going to fail. So
that's the saturation right there.
Yeah.
But Jack, that's just our opinion at the end of the day. Guys, this podcast. Yeah, well, some people care. The listeners do. This podcast grows with you guys. So if you could give a 5-star review, that'd be massive. Even 4 stars. No, I'm joking. Just keep it at 5. Thanks for listening.